Shalom. I want to start it by saying Barakathe Yahweh, Barakathe Yahushai, Barakathe Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers that are out there pushing and spreading the gospel to the four corners of the world. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, yesterday I just found out what there is such a thing as a transabled, okay? There's a group of people that identify themselves as transabled. And just by the title alone, you know that they are what? Disabling themselves by choice, okay? They are, we'll get into it, okay? It says, similar to transgender people, the transabled feel one or more limbs or function of one's body does not belong to oneself. Okay, now before we get into it, it's a lot more, and there's also a video on it. I just want to bring a few scriptures, okay? This is Psalm chapter 19, starting from verse 7. It says, the way of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahweh is sure, making the wise simple. The statutes of Yahweh are right, rejoice in the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, starting from verse 19. It says, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. Okay, Esau always thought he knew better than the Most High. Okay. See, when you read about it, he you always think you know better than the Most High, okay? The Most High said, a man shall not lie with another mankind like he does with a woman. Neither shall a woman lay with a womankind like he does with a man, okay? But Esau was like, oh, no, love is love, you know? He knows, Esau thinks he knows better than the Most High, and he thinks, nah, that's not true, okay? Love is love. You can do whatever it is. And then what happened? It led to men sleeping with animals. Okay, the fallen shit ever, and people were doing it with pride because what? It sets off a chain of events. Because it's not life. It's not the doctrine of life. If you're gonna live life, you didn't make life. Okay, if you're gonna live life, there's a doctrine to it to live it right. And the Most High gave his laws, statutes, and commandments. But Esau thought he knew better, so when he gave way to one, it set off a chain of events. So now it's not just mankind or mankind, or womankind or womankind, okay? Now it's man and beast. And then what did it lead to? What? This transgender people, okay? And then people are actually mutilating themselves, okay? And their manhood to be like a woman. That's the witchcraft that went out. That's the bad vibration that went out, because that's what breaking the laws does. It sends us a bad vibration. And this is all, and this alone, if the most, you don't think your kingdom is going to fall if the men are doing this? You don't think it's going to fall if the women are bugged out in their mind? And you see the vibration that's going out. Okay, and what happened? People were killing people because, yo, if you married to a woman and you found out she was a man, the anger that brews in you kill her, and then they'll go on to try and figure out what happened. You know what happened, okay? You know exactly why this is going on, but Esau doesn't want to admit it. Okay, he's so used to going about the world and just running his mouth, and people gotta listen to him. But now you see what these choices are bringing him, okay? And now what do we have right here, okay? Transabled people. Man, you can't even use fucking pronouns anymore, you know? We got to change the whole English dictionary for these motherfuckers. It says transabled people are the ones who choose to be disabled. Similar to transgender people, the transabled feel one or more limbs or functions of one's body does not belong to oneself. And some even go to such lengths that involve illegal surgeries to remove undesired body parts. Professor Alexander Beryl, a feminist gender and sexuality studies professor and fellow, defines a disability as a desire for or the need of a person identified with able-bodied by other able to transform his body or her body to obtain a physical impairment. And you see, she can't even write right. When you read, it tells you that Professor Alexander is a feminist, is a gender sexuality studies professor, and like when they quoted her, she's using what, his or her, but I thought you couldn't use that. But but now, in order to communicate, she has to use this term, his or her, even though she knows that she's not supposed to be using it if she needs to be respectful to the community. But eventually, you find out that it's bullshit, man. Yo, this world is completely upside down, man. It's in a toilet, and the most I gotta flush it. Oh man, this place is gone. This woman right here actually poured. You're just gonna watch the video.
I went blind on purpose, but I don't feel it was a choice.
For most people, going blind would be a nightmare. But for Jewel Chooping, it was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. She suffers from a rare condition called body integrity identity disorder, which led her to deliberately take her own sight.
When there's nobody around you that feels the same way, you start to think that you're just very crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. I think I have a disorder. BIID means that you have a need to be disabled in some way. In my case, it was a need to go blind.
9 years ago, Jewel took the drastic decision to blind herself, and she researched the methods she would use.
I found that lye is very painful, although it does get the job done. I found that drain cleaner is little less painful, although it does a lot of damage to the eye. Because drain cleaner was easily available to me, I went with that.
She found a psychologist willing to help her, and after 2 weeks of working together to make sure she was ready, they carried out Jewel's plan.
I laid down on the sofa and he sat next to me. Dropped 2 drops into each eye. My eyes were screaming. I had some drain cleaner going down my cheek, burning my skin. In the moment, all I could think of was, I'm going blind, it's gonna be okay.
After waiting half an hour to make sure the damage was done, the psychologist took Jewel to hospital, where doctors fought to save her sight.
When I woke up the following day, I was joyful until I turned on my back, opened my eyes, and could see the TV screen. I was so enraged, and I thought that it hadn't worked. Then over about 6 months, the sight in both eyes slowly went away. I was so happy. I felt that this was who I was supposed to be.
While Jewel was happy, her actions cost her her relationship with her family. But this was something she'd been building up to throughout her life.
I first developed the idea that I need to be blind when I was around 6 years old. I was told by my mother that if I looked into the sun, I'd go blind, and so I stared into the sun for hours on end. Thinking about being blind made me feel comfortable. I was blind simming, which is pretending to be blind. Becoming blind was definitely difficult.
Yeah, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. And, aside from her, I can't find an account of it, but, I don't know, some people are really chopping off their arms and stuff. But, hey, it's crazy, man. Babylon is falling, Babylon is falling, man. Oh, man. It's so ridiculous. But it's catching on, And they can't do anything about it because they're using the same logic as the other ones, okay, as the alphabet people. So now you just gotta let it be, okay? And then there's no, like, nobody can see a line being drawn there. Nobody can see a line being drawn when nobody can cross, because that logic can be used for so many things. Okay, what if you kill somebody and then you get arrested and you be like, I identify as a bear, just send me to the woods and I don't got to go to prison. You don't send bears to prison. Okay, I identify as a tiger. Okay, tigers don't get locked up. You don't get on trial. Okay, what if you a child or you a man and then you gotta pay taxes? You be, it's crazy. You a kid and you be like, or you in the military and then somebody be like, you can't, what would you call it? You can't just you can't just abandon the military. He's scared. You can't just abandon the military. And they be like, well, I'm not. I identify as a 2-year-old. Okay, and the 2-year-olds can't be in the military. And then they just leave. That's it. I can't even think of, great scenarios, but it's so fucked up, man. It's so stupid. All right. You came to this world, man. You came to this world. You didn't make it. You have no understanding. The Most High is the one that does. Listen to him, man. Hey, so with that, I hope brothers and sisters are edified. This was supposed to be a quick one. Select if I didn't make it, I didn't put it together right, but I just have to put this out there so you know what transabled. Okay, it's out there. If you knew, great. If you didn't know, well, here it is. I didn't know, but they Most High curse this place, man. You just Most High. I pray for the destruction of Babylon, man. To the Most High to burn this place to ashes. To the brothers and sisters that are watching in truth and sincerity, may the blessing of election be upon your house. So with that, Yahweh Bashim Yashab Baruch Atham.